Good morning, and welcome to Lesson 1, Video 36. This video is no new information. This is simply a guided meditation learning all the techniques we've already received from the prior videos of the first lesson set. And this guided meditation is specifically for fear. Now, our job is not to poo-poo fear, or undermine fear, or explain fear away. We're not going to use the rational emotive approach. We're not going to say, oh, those fears are unjustified. Oh, those fears are irrational. It doesn't matter. You feel what you feel. And in that present moment, what you feel is very, very real. And so what we want to do is capitalize on that spontaneous awareness of whatever affects us the most deeply in any present moment, and use that to internalize Buddha's teachings on letting go. Not just that we should let go, but act specifically how to let go. So join me in this morning's practice of letting go of fear and its causes. Now, this is only going to make sense if you are looking at the PDF, if you're looking at the document that this lesson text is found on. So, below this video, there should be two links, right over there. Two links. The second link should take you to the class materials page for the first quarter of weekly webinars, because basically the weekly webinars are on a 4-quarter, or organized according to 4 quarters. Now, if your video doesn't have two links below, it's because you're not on this video's dedicated YouTube page. That's an easy problem to solve. Just find the little tiny link towards the bottom right hand corner of your screen, and it should say YouTube. Find that little thing, give it a click or two, and before you know it, you'll be on this video's dedicated page. And below the video, you'll see the two links. The second one will take you to the free download for the latest version of this PDF. Do yourself a favor, get the latest version. It'll cost you nothing but 30 seconds, maybe 90 seconds. You can afford that. Now, here's my second point. If this is your first time tuning in to Lama Jigme's Dog and Pony Show, do yourself a favor, set yourself up for success, and start with Lesson 1, Part 1, or Lesson 1, Video 1, depending on the terminology that I used on YouTube at the time. Start with Lesson 1, Part 1. Now, if you're having trouble finding that, because I have over 100 videos on YouTube, but for some reason, these are all put together, this should be easy to find on YouTube. But if you can't find it, just start with the first link on the PDF. If you go to page 1 of the PDF, let me go there on your behalf right now. Let's see, Control, Home, page 1. It says Chenra Zig and his disciple, Lama Jigme Gyatso, Rimamani Patantrikas, and then below that, right underneath that, there's a link. That's where you want to start off for your first lesson. At the bottom of page 1, look, another link. That's the second video you'll want to watch. Page 2, that's table of contents, no links there. Page 3, look, there's a link. That's the third lesson you'll want. And so you get the basic idea. Set yourself up for success. Folks, I don't care what spiritual system you're studying. I don't care if you're studying Judaism, Christianity, Islam, Sikhism, Jainism, Hinduism, Taoism, Buddhism, or Shamanism, or even Wiccanism. No spiritual path lauds hubris, arrogance, and pride. Don't make that mistake. Start off with humility and just pretend for a moment that you don't know everything about everything. And for this system to work, you'll have to receive the techniques. These videos are free. It costs you nothing but a little bit of humility and a little bit of time. A century or two ago, you would have to traverse a vast expanse on the back of a yak to receive these teachings. Today you get them with the ease of a click of a mouse. So do yourself a favor, set yourself up for success. So, who's in the room now? People who've actually watched my previous videos, people who have actually had the humility to open the practice text, people who have the spiritual ambition to set themselves up for every spiritual success. Welcome aboard, guys. Okay, and gals, and pets if you've got a furry friend with you. Okay. And by the way, some people are very much into animal rights. You know, I'm one of them. I'm a vegan. They say, oh, you shouldn't call a dog or a cat a pet. You should call them an animal companion. I'm going to tell them, like, I don't own a cat, but my neighbor cat has adopted me, and I'm going to tell you exactly what that cat is to me. He's my quadrupedic suppressor. That cat has labored intensely over the past 4 years to tame me, train me, and make me his jailhouse bitch. That cat is my boss. Let's continue. Okay. Page 4. Let's pacify. Let's tame. Let's liberate ourselves from the oppressive presence of fear in our life. That doesn't mean we're going to stop experiencing fear. That simply means fear is not going to be the boss of us. It's not going to make us make bad decisions, say foolish things, or or behave in a manner that's destructive. Let's begin with exercise 1 on page 4. Where is this purple crown ohm wheel? Don't worry if you can't feel the tinglies at your crown point. Your body knows where the energy goes. Just sit back and let your body do the work. Exercise 2, page 4. What fear am I now experiencing? And by the way, see, did you notice how in the second line of the question, in the first set of parentheses, it says anger, fear, and sadness? You see how we're just making our way through the variables? Okay, so let's do exercise 2, page 4. What fear am I now experiencing? Page 5, remember, these are rhetorical questions. We don't answer these questions. We just ask them mentally, silently, during the in-breath. And then we relax as we recite the mani during the out-breath. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Page 4, exercise 3. How could this fear and its causes not satisfy? Please join me now on page 5. Page 5, exercise 1. How could this fear and its causes not be permanent? Page 5, exercise 2. How could this fear and its causes not be me? Remember, you were taught how to pronounce the mantra during the previous lessons. You were given the tantric empowerment to use this mantra during the previous lessons, if you have watched them. So give yourself a break. If this does not fall trippingly off the tongue, that's okay. At the end of the week it will, assuming that you're doing this twice a day every day for 6 consecutive days. If you don't know what that means, what that's a reference to, it's because you haven't watched the other videos. Go back and watch them, you big old knucklehead. If you do understand what I'm referring to, I take back the whole knucklehead thing. Page 5, exercise 3. How could this fear and its causes not be mine? Mo money, money, 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 mo money, money. Page 6, exercise 1. How could this fear and its causes not be graspable? Mo money, money, 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 mo money, money. Page 6, exercise 2. How could this fear, let's try that again. How could I benefit from letting go of this fear and its causes right now? Now, if you've gone to Zen class or you've gone to Chan class, you might say, oh dude, there is no I who needs to get rid of the fear because I'm so damn spiritual. Dude, that's just a trick they use on the tourists. Don't you pay that? No, never mind. The problem with Chan or Zen is it doesn't take its practitioners beyond the 3rd bodhisattva bhumi. But enlightenment is the 10th bodhisattva bhumi. So let's put away childish things. Let's save the cheap tricks for the tourists. Let's just practice this in a really practical, down-to-earth way. For if you were a true scholar of the Pali and Sanskrit text, you'd know that sometimes Buddha spoke in the first person, sometimes in the third person, sometimes he reused a personal pronoun, sometimes he didn't. So no, let's not get hung up on Chan or Zen superstitions. Let's play with these exercises in a very pragmatic, straightforward way. So once again, page 6, exercise 2. How could I benefit from letting go of this fear and its causes right now? Mo money, money, 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 mo money, money. Page 6, exercise 3. What could completely letting go of this fear and its causes feel like? So here's the cool thing, cats and kittens. When we use fear, we're using our imagination to project a worst case scenario. What could happen to me? What could happen to my loved ones? What could happen to my project? What could happen to my possessions? Now we're going to use our imaginations for our best case scenario, which is pretty cool. Page 6, exercise 3. What could completely letting go of this fear and its causes feel like? Mo money, money, 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 mo money, money. Now, if you've already seen the entire series of videos, you could say, hey, that was something brand new we didn't learn before. Yeah, and that's pretty cool because of every time you received an exercise, you received all the trainings for that exercise. It would be overwhelming. So every time we go through, I give you a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, designed not to overwhelm you, and pretty soon, you're a Buddha. Pretty cool. Page 7, exercise 1. Why could I let go of this fear and its causes right now? Mo money, money, 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 mo money, money. Page 7, exercise 2. Why would I let go of this fear and its causes right now? money, money, more 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 money, money. I've known some intelligent, good-hearted people who are complete slaves to fear. And it sucks the joy out of life. Fear is like a psychic parasite. It's like a vampire that will suck you dry and toss your empty husk, your desiccated husk, off to the side. Fear is not an advisor. Fear is not a friend. You can use fear as a tool. You can use fear as your employee. Fear makes an excellent employee, but a sucky boss. So let's fire our boss. Exercise 2. Why could I let go of this fear and its causes? Let's try this again. Why would I let go of this fear and its causes right now? More money, money, 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 more money, money. Page 7, exercise 3. When will I let go of this fear and its causes? More money, money, 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 more money, money. Completely letting go. More money, money, 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 more money, money. Page 8. Now we get into the silent stuff. So whip out your mala, and you'll notice that Tibetan malas have 4 spacers, as we've already mentioned. And it's also practiced in tantric circles to take a certain object and hang it from your mala someplace. I like using a micro clip, which is a smaller version of an alligator clip, not a roach clip, you damn degenerate. You get these from your local hardware store or from Radio Shack. And you could ask, what's this for? Well, if one was doing a bunch of mantras and you weren't looking at it, when you got to each spacer, you could feel, oh, that's been 28 mantras. And when you got to the alligator clip, you'd be able to feel that and go, oh, I've done 111 mantras. Very cool. So let's count on the pinky. Let's use our pinky as a pulley and use our thumb to pull the mala up over the pinky. And let's do 3 exercises of the question, what feeling? Letting go. So if you're feeling that fear, embrace it. And here's something really cool. One of my teachers was a pilot, or actually he was learning how to be a pilot. And he explained that every student who learns how to fly eventually stalls out and plummets to the earth. And what they want to do is they want to pull back on the nose, hoping that they'll go back in the sky. But they've lost their lift, and the lift is an aeronautical phenomenon to deal with momentum and mass and all that kind of good stuff. So what a good flight teacher has them do is push the yoke forward, which pushes the nose of the plane down, which breaks the spin, recaptures momentum, recaptures lift, and they save the day. So right now, if we're experiencing fear in this moment, part of us doesn't want to experience fear. Wants to run away. This is me running away from fear. Okay, trying to run away from fear. That doesn't work. Fear is a persistent little parasite. It'll stay right on you. So what we're going to do is the opposite. We're going to turn. We're going to face our fear right in the eye. We're going to grab its lapels, stare it right in the eye. And that's what we're doing right now. What feeling? Feel that nightmare. And then let go. That's not pushing it away. That's just letting go. This is exploring its non-graspability on a visceral level. Let's do that right now. What feeling? Letting go. Let's sit upright, head over shoulders, shoulders over hips, hips on the front edge of the chair, no slouching, feet flat on the ground, hands out to the side, palms facing up unless you're holding a mala. What feeling? Letting go. What hearing? Letting go. And don't you get worried if I'm counting faster, counting 3 breaths faster than you can practice them, because I'm talking, I'm using more air, therefore my breaths are shorter. Ain't no big thing. Let's continue. Page 8, exercise 3, what seeing? Letting go. Sometimes people ask, well, what should I see? Whatever your mind tosses at you. This is not the time to contrive a visualization. This is the time to be vulnerable and just be aware of what's going on. Your mind throws at you. Page 9, last page of the meditations. Noticing, letting go. Now we're going to reduce that to its one-syllable version. This free. And free is short, of course, for fly, be free, or in other words, letting go. And then we open our eyes, and even though our peripheral vision is aware of everything in the environment around us, we let our gaze softly, gently rest upon the face of the Buddha of Compassion that you hopefully already downloaded. This free. Let's coil our mala and give it a bless. I'm reminded of the horrendous Michael Bay movie called Armageddon. In it, one of the good guys experiences the outer space version of Rapture of the Deep. It goes a little nuts. So they wind up duct taping him to a chair so he can't harm anybody or himself. And I think it was the guy, I forgot the actor's name, but he stars in Boardwalk Empire. You know what I'm talking about. And the actor starts screaming, "Embrace the nightmare, man!" And that's what we got to do. You know, our fears may be real, they may be imagined, they may be rational, they may be irrational. We may be between jobs and terrified that we'll never work again. We may be single and be scared that we're going to live and die alone without meeting the partner for whom we are profoundly compatible, and who just cannot help but love us the way we need to love, and whom we can't help but love the way they need to be loved. We each have our own way we need to be loved. And you can't figure it out. It has to happen spontaneously. And that's why it's so much easier to find someone to fuck than it is to find someone to love. And it's so much easier to find someone to love than to find someone with who you share a high degree of profound, spontaneous compatibility. So if you're one of those people who has yet to find your dream mate, and you're feeling scared, embrace that fear. Be aware of it on the in-breath. And explore its non-graspable nature in the out-breath. That'll make sense if you've seen the videos I've already done on this series. If you haven't, resurrect. Page 10. Let's conclude by investing, protecting, and multiplying our good karma that we just generated with these recitations together. Page 10. By this virtue may I now accomplish the spontaneous, habitual, easy, and effective mastery of Buddha's mental yogas of devotion, awareness, love, and letting go, and now lead every living being without exception to this ground. Exercise 2, page 10. May everyone be healthy, wealthy, and happy. May everyone practice skillfully and joyfully. May everyone accomplish Shenrezig in this life, and then help many others do likewise. For truly that is the meaning of life. Om Mani Padme Hum. The third exercise, and the final exercise on page 10. May I always be cared for throughout all my lives by the Buddha of compassion emanating as my kind teacher. And as such may I always enthusiastically and joyfully tread this excellent path praised by the conquerors. Join me now on page 11. You'll see a whole bunch of guided meditations. Basically, you'll see their title and the link, their title and the link, the title and the link. And so theoretically, you could go through here and, remember I told you the only way you'll know these teachings will work is suspend your judgment, receive these teachings, do your homework twice a day every day for no less than 6 consecutive days, engage your judgment, and notice your results. Remember I told you that? I hope you do. Well, now we've come to the point in your training where you've actually got some homework to play with. Woohoo! And eventually you won't need these guided meditations. Some hard chargers never do. But for the rest of us mere mortals, they can be useful. So have fun with these guided meditations. Don't exhaust yourself. If you do 13 guided meditations in one sitting, you can get exhausted. It's going to leave a bad taste in your mouth. You're not going to come back and do it no more. That's all kinds of silly. So do one guided meditation every morning, one guided meditation every night, and in 6 consecutive days you're going to have some fabulous results. And I feel myself being profoundly influenced by these two brothers, call themselves the fasting twins. I want to say you're going to get all kinds of results. Oh, that's just wrong, I tell you. So let me return to the video camera. Quick benediction. May you and yours be healthy and happy. Om Mani Padme Hum. Allow me to remind you that at the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, right around, there. Look how big my hand looks. It's like ginormous. It's coming to get you. Okay, right around here you'll see a like button. Looks like a little thumbs up. Click that bad boy. It'll really reveal 3 social network buttons. One for Facebook, one for Twitter, one for Google+. Click them each. Share this with your friends. Change the world. Of course, I mentioned there were 2 links below the video. And of course, I want to go like this. I don't want to flick anybody off in Britain. So, don't want to send the wrong message to my limey brothers and sisters. Okay, so that first link below the video, takes you to the registration page, so you can make sure you can reserve your virtual seat in the webinar that starts, well, for the Friday series of weekly webinars. When does that start? November 2nd. I'll see you there. Bye-bye.